Chosen one. If you don't listen right now, it's over. God has already made his final decision, and you're either going to walk through the door of destiny or get locked out of everything he had prepared for you. This isn't just another message. This is your last spiritual warning. Have you felt it? The pressure building, the anxiety rising, the sinking feeling that time is almost up? That's not in your head. That's heaven sounding the alarm. You were chosen for a reason. But chosen doesn't mean guaranteed. And if you keep hesitating, the blessing will pass to someone else. This is your divine wake-up call, because delay is turning into destruction. And if you don't move now, you'll miss what was meant for you forever. If this already feels personal, that's because it is. Drop a comment right now that says, "I'm listening, God." I say, yes. Then buckle up, because what you're about to hear could save your destiny. The divine decision has already been made. 400 words, chosen one. There comes a point in every destiny where heaven stops waiting. God gave you chance after chance after chance. He showed you flashes of your future, glimpses of the greatness you were meant to walk in. He spoke through late-night whispers, unexpected delays, prophetic dreams, even heartbreak. But you hesitated. You second-guessed your assignment. You kept running back to what was familiar, even when it no longer fit who you were becoming. You clung to people he told you to let go. You kept habits he told you to break. You entertained comfort when God was calling you to courage. And now, heaven has gone silent, not because God doesn't love you, but because a final decision has been made. My spirit will not strive with man forever. Genesis 6:3. There is a moment when divine grace turns into divine accountability. And chosen one, that moment is now. You were marked, you were called, you were set apart for something sacred. But being chosen is not a free pass. It's a divine test. God sent signs, synchronicities, warnings in the form of closed doors and sudden endings. He sent numbers in the clock, random voices in the wind, truths hidden in dreams. But you kept saying, later, I'm not ready. What if I fail? And now, the delay has become danger. This is the final trumpet blast before the curtain falls. You either rise into alignment or you fade into delay. You either become the living fulfillment of prophecy or you become the sad warning for someone else's obedience. Because here's the truth, heaven's will be done with or without you. You were meant to be the vessel, but God won't wait forever for a willing heart. If you don't step into it now, that mantle will be passed to someone else. So, chosen one, the decision has already been made, but whether you rise or remain behind, that choice is now yours. The door of destiny is closing and it won't open again. There is a door, chosen one, a divine portal created just for you. And for so long, it's been open wide, quietly waiting for your yes. God gave you time to prepare. He gave you grace, not because you were perfect, but because he saw your potential. He didn't expect you to have it all figured out, only that you'd make progress. Small steps, tiny acts of faith. But now the spiritual clock is ticking, and that door is starting to close. Not because you've been rejected, not because you're unloved, but because the appointed time is shifting. To everything there is a season, a time for every purpose under heaven. Ecclesiastes 3:1. You felt it, haven't you? That pressure, that uneasy energy, that voice in your gut whispering, move now, before it's too late. That's not fear, that's God's urgency in your spirit. This is not symbolic. This is not a drill. This is the divine expiration date of your current season. God has waited patiently, but your hesitation has begun to delay other destinies. The people you're meant to impact are waiting. The legacy you're meant to leave is on pause. And heaven will not allow stagnation any longer. This opportunity was designed specifically for you. It's your fingerprints, your voice, your calling. But if you don't walk through that door, God will raise up someone else who will. That's the most painful truth of all. God's plan will not fail, but you can miss your part in it. The door is creaking, the light is dimming, and time is nearly up. Chosen one, don't let destiny pass you by, because once that door shuts, it won't open again. You were chosen, but chosen doesn't mean guaranteed. Let's make something crystal clear. Being chosen is not a crown. It's a calling. It's not a title to wear. It's a test to pass. God didn't pick you because you were the loudest, the flashiest, or the most perfect. He picked you because at one point your spirit whispered yes when others said no. He saw something in you, not your ability, but your availability. But lately, you've let fear speak louder than faith. You've let comfort silence your conviction. You've been praying, but only to justify your delay. And heaven has taken notice. Many are called, but few are chosen. Matthew 22:14. You were called, you were chosen, but don't get it twisted. Being chosen is conditional. David was chosen and honored it, but Saul, he was chosen too and lost it all through disobedience. Esau had the birthright, but he traded it for a moment of comfort. And the blessing? Gone forever. Chosen one, hear this. Don't sell your eternal assignment for a few likes. Don't sacrifice your anointing for temporary approval. Don't choose being busy over being burdened with purpose. The enemy doesn't need to destroy you, he just needs to distract you, to keep you stuck in the endless loop of almost started, almost shifted, almost became who God created you to be. But almost is the enemy of obedience. And almost never leads to abundance. If you want to walk in your destiny, or if you want to unlock the very things you've been praying for, then this is your final chance to act like the chosen one you are. Because chosen isn't a guarantee, it's a response, and heaven is still waiting for yours. Delay is turning into destruction. Here's the truth no one likes to talk about. Delay doesn't just slow you down, it starts to destroy. Not because God is cruel, not because he gave up on you, but because delayed obedience invites demonic interference. Every time you pause when God says move, you leave the door cracked open. And guess who walks in? The enemy. And he doesn't come to play, he comes to steal, kill, and destroy. Chosen one, think back. Sudden anxiety that came out of nowhere, relationships that shattered overnight, that opportunity that disappeared just before you said yes, money that dried up with no explanation, attacks that felt random but hit you hard. That wasn't bad luck. That wasn't coincidence. That was the consequence of spiritual hesitation. Your delay became the devil's playground. You've been praying for breakthrough, but ignoring the instructions that unlock it. God's plan comes with timing. It's not just what he told you to do. It's when he told you to do it. And when you resist divine timing, you step into a timeline that God never wrote for you. That's why everything feels off. That's why the pressure is building. That's why peace feels like a distant memory. If you are willing and obedient, you shall eat the good of the land. Isaiah 1:19. But if you keep waiting for the perfect moment, if you keep asking for confirmation God already gave, you will wake up one day and realize you're living in delay's destruction, regret, lost years, dead dreams. Don't get stuck in a storm you were meant to walk around. Don't mourn a loss you were meant to avoid with obedience. This is your final alert. Heaven isn't asking for perfection. Heaven is asking for movement. God is saying, move. Now, not tomorrow. Not when it's convenient. Not when it's popular. Because if you don't, the consequences won't just increase, or they'll multiply. And by then it might be too late. Obedience will unlock the overflow. But now, let's shift gears. Let's talk about the side most people never experience. Not because it's out of reach, but because they hesitated. What if, at this time, You said yes. What if you finally let go of what's been weighing you down? What if you stopped overthinking and just stepped through the door God has been holding open for you all along? Chosen one, here's what would happen. Clarity would flood in. Divine favor would chase you down. Doors would open that no man could shut. Peace would cover you like armor. Everything would move in and move fast. When you move in obedience, heaven moves too. Delays are broken, chains are shattered, momentum explodes, and miracles become your new normal. Eye has not seen, ear has not heard, the things which God has prepared for those who love Him. 1 Corinthians 2:9. Yes, this may be your final warning, but it's also your greatest invitation. God hasn't closed the door. Not yet. He's just drawing the line, making it clear. Greatness requires urgency. Because what's on the other side of your yes is more than just your breakthrough. It's about the people whose freedom is connected to your obedience. It's about generations who will rise because you finally stopped hesitating. So, chosen one, don't delay this moment. You already know what you need to do. This time, just obey and watch the overflow begin. Chosen one, you've heard the message. And now, it's decision time. This wasn't just another video, this was a divine intervention. God has been tapping on your heart, trying to get your attention. And today, He spoke clearly. If you don't listen now, it's over. This is the final warning, but it's also your final invitation to rise. You've come too far to go back. You've survived too much to stay stuck. And you're carrying too much purpose to waste another day in delay. The door is still open, see, but only for a moment. So I ask you, are you ready to obey? Are you ready to move forward in faith? You will pay even if you're scared. Are you ready to become the prophecy, not the warning? If your spirit says yes, then drop a comment right now that says, I'm ready, God. I say yes. Declare it, write it, speak it out loud. Let heaven know you received this word. Let the enemy know he lost. And if this video shook something in your soul, share it with someone who needs to hear it. Subscribe for more prophetic guidance, and hit the bell so you never miss what heaven is saying next. Chosen one, you were born for this. Now rise, because your obedience is about to unlock the overflow. The time is now. Move before the door closes forever.